I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53, brackets 1, to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Finance and Budget regarding the government's decision to lease public sugar companies for approximately 30 years, effectively privatizing ownership rather than retaining them under public control with the appointment of competent professional management. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1. The rationale behind leasing out sugar companies instead of strengthening public ownership through the appointment of capable management, and whether this approach is in the best socioeconomic interest of the local communities. 2. How the long-term leasing aligns with principles of public accountability, including whether adequate public participation and stakeholder consultation were undertaken prior to the decision. 3. The impact of leasing out the sugar companies on farmers, employers, and local economies, and the safeguards in place to protect public assets and ensure continued service delivery and economic empowerment in the sugar growing regions. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Honorable Senators, before I allow comments on the statements that have been sought, allow me to make this communication. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon of visiting teachers and students from St. Teresa Secondary School in Murang'a County. The delegation comprises 3 teachers and 64 students who are in the Senate for a one-day academic exposition. Now, Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcome visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I do not see the Senator Oroba. You're out of order. I will allow the majority whip under 1 minute to extend a word of welcome, to welcome the delegation.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it would be nice for the young people from Murang'a to know that Murang'a has got a special history with the Parliament of this House. It is from Murang'a, Mr. Speaker, the children should know, where we had the first parliamentarian who was a doctor to sit in Parliament in Kenya, Dr. Kikonyo Kiano. Mr. Speaker, it would also be nice for them to be proud of the fact that the real leader of the end of the dictatorship of a certain president in the country was from Murang'a, a man by the name of Kenneth Njindo Matiba. And Mr. Speaker, lastly, it will be nice for them to know that Murang'a is the one that has produced the best business people who took over from the white business community in Nairobi, and they're the ones who established the first black business community in this city. Welcome, young people. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, we go to comments on the statement sought. Now, Honorable Senators, if you manage to get a chance to speak, keep it under 3 minutes, because my board is fairly full, so that we have as many of you having an opportunity to speak. The Honorable Senator for Mombasa.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kunipa fursa hii kuchangia maombi ya taarifa yaliyoletwa bungeni na Senator Hamida. Mheshimiwa Spika, ni kweli kwamba baadhi ya mashirika ya ndege yanayohudumu katika nchi yetu, hususan na Turkish na nyinginezo, huduma anazotoa Mheshimiwa Spika kwa vile viwango vya juu, kwa hakika zinaacha mambo mengi maswali mengi kuulizwa kuliko majibu. Mheshimiwa Spika, nilibahatika kusafiri na ndege ya Turkish kwenda Istanbul hivi majuzi, na Mheshimiwa Spika, huduma za business katika ndege hizo Mheshimiwa ziko tofauti na zile ambazo wanatoa kwa kiwango hicho kwa ndege zinazosafiri kutoka sehemu ya Istanbul kwenda maeneo mengine katika Europa na vile vile maeneo mengine katika Amerika na sehemu za Asia. Mheshimiwa Spika, haiwezekani kwamba ndege ile itoe huduma tofauti kwa wale wanaokuja Afrika na wale wanaokwenda sehemu nyingine. Na sijui shirika ambalo linadhibiti huduma hizi katika nchi yetu ya Kenya linafanya nini ili kuhakikisha kwamba huduma zinazotolewa zinafikia vile viwango vinavyotakikana. Kwa Mheshimiwa Spika, tungependa kamati iharakishe swala hili kwa sababu Wakenya wengi wanapata shida. Inakuwa kama ambao kuna ubaguzi wa rangi kuhusiana na huduma wanazotoa katika maeneo ya Afrika na yale maeneo mengine ambako wanahudumu. Kwa Mheshimiwa Spika, naunga mkono maombi hayo ya taarifa ya Senator Hamida Kibwana. Asante.
The Senate Majority Leader. Senate Majority Leader.
This request was for comments in the earlier discussion. I don't have a comment on the statements.
Senator Sifuna.
Honorable Speaker, let me just comment on the statement that has been read by the Senator for Busia. This is a matter of grave national concern, Honorable Speaker. Yesterday, there was a statement issued by the Governor for Kisumu, the Honorable Professor Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, who is the strategic reserve of ideology for the ODM party. Whenever we want to find our North Star, he is the guy we go to, and he gives us direction, Honorable Speaker. And he raised concern about plans to privatize mills in his area as well. As you know, the public mills, including Nzoia, Chemelil, and Muhoroni, are all listed as part of this leasing plan. I was at home for a burial last week, Honorable Speaker, and the people of Bungoma, who are largely sugarcane farmers, were very clear that they will insist on the promise that was made by the head of state when he was campaigning, that when it comes to Nzoia sugar, the government will invest in upgrading the machinery to improve efficiency, but they will not be leasing this sugar plant out or to sell it to any third party. Professor Nyong'o cited a few issues or reasons as to why he was objecting to the leasing of Chemelil and Muhoroni. Number one, that there was ongoing litigation and that he felt that there was not effective public participation, that this process is being rushed, that it has been undertaken in an opaque nature. And Honorable Speaker, because this is a matter of grave national concern, and in fact he listed the companies that Chemelil is supposed to be leased to Kibos, Muhoroni is supposed to be leased to a company called West Valley Sugar, which there are rumors that it is associated with a member of this House. And I'm hoping that when he contributes, he can declare that interest, because we passed a bill in this House on conflict of interest. Honorable Speaker, we want to just be clear as leaders in this country that we do not necessarily oppose everything that is proposed. But it is a constitutional imperative that you must carry the people along so that people understand, Honorable Speaker, that number one, they are the biggest stakeholders. Number two, Honorable Speaker, if you are leasing out the sugar mills and the person is not interested in reviving the mills but is after the land that is occupied or is owned by that particular sugar plant, there's going to be a problem. Nzoia Sugar has the biggest nucleus, Honorable Speaker, and the people of Bungoma will not allow that land to go because they consider that land their land. It is only held in trust for them. And Honorable Halwale, all of us, the last time we had a plan to privatize all these sugar mills, we came together as leaders and we said there will be no privatization without the involvement of the local community. So, please, Honorable Speaker, all we are calling for, let us follow the constitutional imperative and Article 10 to involve our people, to allow
Senator Fernande.
Mr. Speaker, let me pick from where Senator Sifuna left by saying also Nandi is part of the conversation we're having about privatization and leasing of sugar mills, because Chemelil, West Kenya, and a number of them, including Kericho County, Mr. Speaker. What we are calling for is accountability, public participation, and dispensation of court processes that are already in place. And it would be nice to engage, and I'm willing to sit the way we did with the Oparanya report on sugar task force reforms that give birth to Sugar Act. We would be willing to sit and have that conversation for betterment of farmers and Kenyans. I want to ask the government not to be in a hurry, because there will be a lot of legal hurdles that might affect this process. I know there is a sugar bait that has been given of bonuses to farmers, but we need to have a conversation, Mr. Speaker, and ensure that we conclude. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, on the report by Labour Committee, I wanted to hear what is, Mr. Speaker, we did pass about one-off honorarium to former councillors. The chairperson of Labour has not given us a headway on what will happen to one-off that was supposed to be given by former councillors, Mr. Speaker. Yet they served this nation when there was no, they were just being given token or appreciation, Mr. Speaker. It would have been nice that the Labour Committee gives us a way forward. Mr. Speaker, on labour mobility, we have had here flying accusations from this place to another on labor mobility, creation of opportunities. I want to challenge the Labour Committee to give us the status so that we are not hearing only the one-side story of the Cabinet Minister of Labour. We need to be told what are the numbers. How are young people getting access to labor mobility that the government has given to us, so that we stop these accusations where some members of this House have been engaging in unnecessary altercation with the members of executive. Let us be given the status of labor mobility, Mr. Speaker, so that it can be very easy, Mr. Speaker, and also the status of Kenyans in diaspora, Dubai, and other places, Mr. Speaker. Finally, Mr. Speaker, on the issue of Talanta City Stadium and a number of city stadia across the country, I wish the Labour Committee should give us the status on how the stadiums are being taken care of. What is the status? I can see Talanta City Stadium is taking shape. A number of Kasarani Stadium, Mr. Speaker. Let the Labour Committee give us what is the status so that it becomes easy, Mr. Speaker, going into the future. Mr. Speaker, I support all statements that have been presented today. I thank you.
Senator Osotsi.
Mr. Speaker, allow me also to weigh in on the statement by Senator Umtata on the leasing of sugar companies and the privatization. Mr. Speaker, this is a very weighty matter, particularly from the western region where I come from, and people have been concerned about this plan to lease Nzoia Sugar Company, particularly, that we did not have adequate stakeholder engagement and also public participation. That this process was done very opaquely, and we just want to demand that even if the government has good intentions on doing something, can they involve the people? Can they involve the leaders of that region instead of just waking up and saying, we want to lease Nzoia Sugar Company? So I think this statement is an eye-opener, and I want to urge the committee that will be handling this to handle this with speed so that our people can get justice, because the speed at which the whole process is being undertaken, it's sending a lot of negative signals to our people. On the second issue of privatization, I'm among the people who believe that privatization is not the solution to the problem we are having in the sugar industry. Mr. Speaker, Mumias Sugar Company was doing so well before privatization. When we used to have management agents called Bokatet, they were doing so well. But now the problem started increasing upon privatization of Mumias Sugar Company, where the management could not listen to anyone. So many occasions here, the former MD of Mumias Sugar Company, the one who was a governor somewhere, I don't want to mention the name, he used to come here and even refuse to talk to the committees and say we are privatized. That is where the company went down. So the solution is not in privatization of this sugar company, but the solution is in government looking for a strategic manager. Mr. Speaker, I wonder why the government keeps interfering with this sugar industry. For example, in Murmurs, and Senator Boni Khalwale is here, Sarai has been able to make that company work. But now we are trying to, when things are working, we want to destroy them. That guy has worked so well. He has made smoke come out. He has made some workers to go back to work. And then now you want to tell him, you want to take part of the company away to another person. When we...
Senator Murango.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, hata mimi ningetaka kuongezea pia maoni yangu kulingana na ombi lililoletwa na Senator Mtata. Pia katika hiyo gazeti la kitaifa niliona pia kwamba kiwanda cha Mwea cha mchele pia kimeorodheshwa pia katika ile ambayo inafaa kwenda kwa watu binafsi. Mstahiki Spika, babu yangu ni mojawapo waliopeana shamba na pia kuchangia katika kujenga kile kiwanda. Kwa hivyo serikali inapoamua kukiuza, ni vizuri wale waliopeana kiwanja kwa hiari, shamba kwa hiari, tujue watafaidika kivipi. Kwa sababu kama nimekupa shamba ili ufanye jambo fulani, ukimalizia kama una haja nayo unafaa nirudishie mimi niliyokupa. Sababu hakuuza. Jambo la pili, kuna mchango ambao ulifanyika ili kuhakikisha kwamba ile kiwanda kimeendelea. Wengi wao toka leo mashishi na kuanga kambulini. Sisi Wakikuyu kutoka Kirinyaga tunashika mashamba yetu. Lakini tuliyapeana, wakambaki wanakaa katika vijiji ambapo hata mahali ya kuzika hakuna. Mstahiki Spika, ni vizuri watu waliokuwa na roho nzuri na hiari kama hiyo, jambo kama hili linapofika wahusishwe, waitwe. Wale waliombaki kama sisi ambao tumembaki kwa sababu wale washatangulia mbele ya haki, tuweze pia kuamua na tuweze kuweza kuwajulisha pia maoni yetu ni ipi. Kwa sababu wale walioko pale, Mstahiki Spika, nikwambia siku ya leo hawako kamwe, hawana haja na hiyo kiwanja iuzwe. Jambo la pili, katika zile viwanda zimejengwa Sagana ambapo tunaambiwa kwamba tunafaa tupeleke kutafuta huduma hapo. Kwa sababu lile shamba liko Ngurban Town, limeshikana pia na maghala ya halmashauri ya nafaka. Mahali wakulima wanaenda kuchukua mbolea yao ya ruzuku ambayo inapewa na serikali, ambayo ni katikati. Ni kilomita zaidi ya 30. Ni kama kutoa Njikoni mahali ambapo iko karibu na Sembule uende uipeleke karibu na Mbafu. Mahali ambapo unafaa kutembea, Mstahiki Spika. Kwa hivyo katika zile huduma tunapata kutoka kwa hiyo kiwanda, sisi tungetaka imbaki pale pale, na kama baadhi wakazi wakulima ataamua kwamba ipeanwe, wahusishwe kikamilifu ili waweze kuamua itaenda ama iendi. Asante sana Mstahiki Spika.